From MTN, the Montana Television Network, this is Face the State.
Good morning and welcome to Face the State here on the Montana Television Network. We thank you for joining us on this Sunday morning. Jay Kohn here. I'll be your host for the half hour this morning, and I'm joined by two experts in their field to talk a little bit about this new scary digital world we're living in and the cybersecurity that all of us are kind of looking over our shoulders at these days. Next to me here this morning, we'd like to welcome to the show Kris Good. Kris is a technology specialist with CTA Architects and Engineers here in Billings, and he's here to tell us all about the newest gadgets and fiber optics and what we need to know about building security and keeping people safe. Kris, thanks for being here today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And also with us today, we are pleased to have with us Detective Brett Lapham with the Billings Police Department. Brett has 18 years of law enforcement experience, beginning in one of my favorite cities of Sidney, Montana. Brett is a native of Butte and has worked with the Billings Police Department for most of his career, and now is a detective focusing in on cyber scams, if I'm not correct. Brett, thank you so much for joining us.
You betcha. Glad to be here.
We came up with the idea for this program. The Big Sky Economic Development folks here in Billings recently had a symposium entitled Securing Your Business from All Sides. And I think not just your business, but perhaps your home and your personal computers and your cell phones that we're all living with, we take for granted these days. But we're all kind of living on the edge where our lives could be turned upside down in a short nanosecond, if I can use that term, just because of all the scary things happening. So first of all, Kris, tell us a little bit about your position as technology specialist. I find it interesting that someone that comes from an engineering firm is working in fiber optics. It's not kind of the vision I have for an architect or an engineer these days.
Oh, well, it's actually what we refer to as the backbone of a building or a company is their network and their connection to the internet. And so you have to have, in order to be a secure system, you have to have that physical layer secured as well. And one of the new technologies that's out there is a technology called GPON. And GPON has a lot of different aspects to it. It's not a new system. It's about 20 years old. Started in the triple play services for residential. So a lot of us have used that system and never even known that we're using it. And it's basically a fiber optic based network. We simply take a strand of single mode fiber,
which is glass, you're saying?
Which is totally glass, end to end. I can run this out 12 miles or more, so I don't have to worry about my distances. I plug that into the back of a little device called an ONT. There's a little magic that happens in here. It's very similar to a crystal. You know, we've all seen those crystals on chandeliers.
Right.
And the sun hits it and the light refracts. Very similar theory here. And it takes that one strand and it turns it into 32 strands. Now I can take these 32 strands and I can run them to whatever walls I need, and I plug it into another device, and that converts the photons and electrons back into copper, and I can put phones, computers, printers, cameras, whatever we need to on there. You can actually get as many as 24 ports off of one of the 32 back on one strand. So it's quite robust. It has a lot of power. But this is what we refer to as layer one, your physical network security. And if that's not a secure network, you've just left the door open for a whole lot more problems, and I'm sure Brett will go into that as well.
You said you got your start with the old phone company, the good old days of the telephone company.
Yes. When I started, telephone systems were the size of refrigerators. And I remember a friend saying, you know, someday, see that computer, the phone system's going to be that size, and I laughed at him. He was right. And so now our phone systems have changed. You quite often hear the term VoIP,
right?
Whether at home or in the office, voice over internet protocol. And so it's all digitized. And that's great in some respects, but it also opens up the door for vulnerabilities that we have for these types of crimes that we're going to talk about.
I'm going to have you hold that thought for a second.
Sure.
We'll get into this GPON system down the road because it's really fascinating. And first of all, I don't know anything about computers. I'm about the least technical person. But this has been just fascinating to me to hear as we prepare for the show. So hopefully our viewers will hang in and learn some of the new cutting edge stuff that's happening right here in Montana, specifically here in Billings. Detective Lapham, I find it interesting that a police detective spends most of his time on financial scams that people have been taken to the cleaners on.
Yeah, it's really grown. I mean, as a detective, we started out, it was just, robberies or, things like that, assaults, and it just every year, and the more things grow, the more advanced it gets. We work everything on financial crimes, from check forgeries to the economic scam that I spoke about at the conference, to embezzlements with companies. I mean, you name it, we see it here. So.
It's interesting. You said those scams almost follow the calendar. We're coming up on tax day, and we're hearing a lot about people getting phone calls from the IRS, and you've got some back taxes. And we all have been told the IRS doesn't work over the phone that way. But some of the specifics that you've heard lately were some of the things you've been trying to track down, including the old letter that from the cousin in Nigeria or some prince in Nigeria that all you had to do was send them $1,000 cash or whatever.
Yep, they've grown. I mean, when I first got into this, that's exactly what it was. People were getting letters in the mail from Nigeria saying, if you send the $5,000 to pay for the taxes, you'll get $1 million. And it's grown from those simple letters to, like you said, these phone calls. The IRS has just been inundated, as they are every year, with complaints from people getting phone calls saying you owe taxes and wanting to scam people that way. And it's all over the internet, people getting emails wanting them to respond to things, click links that they shouldn't be clicking, and all sorts of different things that open doors up that way.
I'm sure you've heard everything, or if not, before your career is over, you will have. But this whole new world is pretty scary for people, especially people in my generation or the generation ahead of me, that they can't quite grasp the fiber world. And there's all these things that they just aren't too sure about that they can easily fall victim to just by not knowing. You were saying just these emails that suddenly appear in your account, and they're going, you've got a problem, call this number, and you're saying, don't call that number.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of the ways to avoid these scams and falling victims to these things are actually very simple. And it is like you said, if you get that voicemail at home that says there's a problem with your credit card, call this 800 number. We'll never call that number. Take your credit card out of your wallet, call the number that's on the credit card itself. Simple things like that will alleviate a lot of problems. If you get an email from somebody and you're just not sure about it, use a different way to reply to them. Don't click a link that's inside of that email. Go back to something that maybe a bill that you've gotten from that company or something, and contact them that way. And just those simple things, a lot of times, will solve a lot of problems.
There's some common sense that sometimes people, I think they become intimidated by the technology, and they kind of just forget, no, I shouldn't call that number. Let's pull it out of my pocket, use that credit card number. And Kris, you were saying just where you live in the Absaroka area, people have these networks in their houses,
Yep.
and they're not protected.
No. I think everybody's got a certain level of trust, that we all are born with. But when it comes to networks, if you can, in my house, for example, I have a wireless network, and I can get on my computer and I can pull up the networks that I can see. And there's probably a dozen or so just in my little neighborhood. And if you ever have done this in a hotel or whatnot, you'll see some will say secured, and some will say unsecured. Well, it's the unsecured ones that the bad guys are looking for. And there's nothing stopping them from parking in the church parking lot across the street from you. They can get on your network. They can see everything. You've just given them a whole open door to all of your information, get back out into the internet. They can do all kinds of nefarious things simply because you didn't take the time to secure that network. You can always share that network with people that you give permission to, but if you leave it wide open, you're just asking for problems.
And you can secure it by a simple password, correct?
Simple password, yes.
Most of them come with a password, but people will leave it as password or administrator or something.
Right.
And these crooks are pretty smart. That doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out.
No, not at all. No.
Detective Lapham, let's talk about specifically, you have focused in on what's called the BEC scam, and this is for really targeting businesses. What does that stand for?
It's the business email compromise. And I was approached to do a talk last week at the conference, and it was because there have been a couple of local businesses here in Billings hit, and just between two businesses there was over a $200,000 loss. And actually at the conference I spoke to a member of the banking community, and he knew of a situation in Bozeman that was $750,000 that was lost through this scam.
Tell us how widespread this is. This has gone worldwide, really.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's been found in literally in all 50 states here. They've tracked it to 100 different countries worldwide. The money that has been scammed from this has ended up in 79 different countries. The FBI is reporting, over 23,000 victims, 15,000 of those just here in the United States. So it's a big scam, and it's not that old. It's only been around for a few years, and it's in the billions of dollars of loss worldwide from this thing.
People, if you're listening, this is really interesting now, because this is targeting businesses that regularly perform wire transfers, correct? And I mean, this is a specific scam that they just keep perpetuating again and again, wherever they can find someone to fall for it.
Exactly. The key on this one is the wire transfer, because it is so quick. And through the banking system, if money is wired, it's considered legitimate money and can be withdrawn right away. Whereas a lot of banks, if there's a check that is sent, there's oftentimes a holding period on that check. So scammers don't want that, because that gives somebody a chance to figure out that something's amiss. With the wire transfer, as soon as that money is gone, it's gone.
It's gone.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how this works, in that they compromise the business email, and usually from there it's a familiar scheme for you that's repeated all over the place.
Yeah, on the face it's actually a very simple scam, because simply what they're doing is compromising an email account, and that happens one of a few ways. Sometimes there's an outright hack where they take over an email account. That's actually fairly rare. The other way is they will send emails that look like they come from somebody legitimate, and you've heard words like spoofing accounts or cloning accounts, and it's just making an email from somebody else look like it came from a different person. And so it's an email that comes from, or appears to come from, someone legitimate within the company to someone that's authorized to make financial transactions, instructing them to wire money to a particular account, under the auspices of some new account that they've set up, or a transaction that they need to complete. And they will do this oftentimes right at the close of business hours, so there's a rush aspect to it. And then that person that's conducting the transaction maybe will look past some of the normal protocols that they would do, because there's this rush. The email is always very demanding, and we have to do this right away or we could lose this account. And so they will wire the money, and
once it's wired, say bye-bye.
It is very often it's gone. The money oftentimes will hit an intermediary person here in the United States and then goes overseas very quickly. And like I said, there was 79 different countries that this money's gone to. We see a lot of it going to China, Hong Kong. Nigeria is also another popular place for financial scams.
And one thing, just reading up on what you sent me about it, a lot of this, they can get some of this information about cloning some of these email accounts just by what the business has on their webpage. Or they'll say, hey, they'll get somebody's name and their email address off the webpage, and it seems like they know what they're talking about. And so one of the advice that you were offering, I saw, was just be careful what you put out there. I mean, because sometimes you're opening the window without realizing it.
Yeah, that's very true. The techie term these days is called social engineering that they use. And,
I saw that term. What is that?
Yeah, and it's just basically doing their homework. And yeah, you call up a business web page, and very often now it will have a whole list of the staff on there, their phone numbers, their email addresses. Some companies, you even click on that name and it'll have their profile and what they do with the company. Well, that makes the homework for the scammer very easy. I mean, they can just go to the website and they're like, okay, this is the person that I have to appear to be, and this is the person that I need to send the fake email to. And so they've got names and phone numbers and addresses and everything right there from the website. So yeah, unfortunately, in the modern era, it's good to get that presence out there on the web. But the other thing is it does make scams like this easier.
So I know we've just kind of done the rough sketch of this scam, and there's way more to it, but some quick bits of advice for businesses that may have fallen in the past for this scam or wanted to protect themselves. You've got kind of a hit list of some some basic things that business can do to protect themselves.
Yeah, I think the most important thing that they have to do is there's got to be a verification. Especially if this is like a new account type thing. I mean, it's one thing if it's a business that does transactions with somebody regularly, that can be a little more trusting. But when you get that new account that has to be paid, you know, a half an hour before the bank closes, that should raise some red flags. And then there needs to be verification. And so if you get an email, something as simple as a text message maybe back to that person. So you're using a known phone number, texting back saying, hey, did you just authorize this wire transfer for this new account? You know, that would stop most of these right there. So, you know, whether it's a phone call, a text message, an email to a different account, there just has to be something built in there to verify before that money goes out the door.
Excellent. If you're just joining us this morning, you're watching Face the State here on the Montana Television Network. Detective Brett Lapham with the Billings Police Department here talking about some of the scams that are out there these days, specifically targeting businesses. And Kris Good is here with CTA Architects and Engineers. He is a technology specialist. And Kris and I want you to get into, first I want to cover smart buildings. Because I have a whole thing here that said this is something I said it's out of the Jetsons. I'm referring to George Jetson and the Spacely Sprockets, but you were saying one of the first smart buildings was Bill Gates' house, right?
Sure, yes. Back in the 80s when that was built, I think all of us heard rumors about people that would wear a lapel pin or some sort of a clothing device, and as they walked through rooms, different things would take place. And that is quite true. Music would play. Before that you put the pin on, they would ask you, what kind of music do you like? What temperature do you like? What's your favorite artwork? And they'd program all of that in there. And it's simply a little radio wave came off of your pin and told the device what it was you like to look at and listen to and those sorts of things. So it wasn't quite ready for prime time when that was done. The rich and famous could afford it. And so now what we're seeing is the migration into smart buildings. But smart buildings is a little bit more in that it was first developed so that a smart building was defined as if a pipe broke and water was splashing all over the floor, the building had the ability to recognize that and either call someone to come fix it or turn a valve and turn the water off until someone could come there. So it's grown and grown, but now smart buildings, you will go in and a lot of people have a badge or a card. Yep. Something that their employer has issued to them, a fob, anything, right? Well, there's some little information encrypted on that, and it uses a technology, RFID, and it simply relays to the devices within the building, and it can tell us where you are, where you've been. It can open doors or deny you access to doors. It can set the temperature ranges to the office space you work in. It can do all kinds of things, including it can help get your computer turned on. You still have to put your password in, but you have to have this to authenticate that as well. So it's a two-step level, so you can be a little bit more secured on that.
Neat. And I think most people are familiar with the office buildings where the system will control the heating, the venting, the air conditioning. Now this is kind of integrating that also with the computer network system, and really the ultimate goal is to increase productivity, make people more efficient, and safer at work, correct? And
safer, and that's really an important factor there. Yes, productivity is always something that we're looking at, but efficiency, you know, it takes a lot of energy and money to heat and cool and light different areas. Well, if you have a conference room and somebody forgot to turn off the lights after the last meeting, now the building can take care of that for you. So you're not burning energy to light that building or heat that space. But when it comes to safety, you know, in this day and age that we live in, there's a lot of violence out there, and with this technology, should some event happen, someone comes into your building and starts a ruckus, we can place people in safe environments by automatically closing doors, turning on alarms, but now we can tell where people are. So we know who got out of the building, who's left in the buildings, those types of things. Makes it much easier for law enforcement to be effective when they come into a situation where people's lives are in danger. So you are building new buildings this way, your firm, the CTA CTA Architects that you work for, but how about retrofitting old? Can there be an old smart building? Sure, absolutely, yes. You can retrofit, and you can retrofit to certain degrees, but The reason you do that is because everything lives on the networks now, and everything lives on the internet now, which is great in some respects for retrofitting a building like this, but not so great in other respects, because now all of your devices are vulnerable, as we all know, for somebody to come in and do something bad.
All right, now I want you to talk more about this fiber optic network system that you're in the process of working the new 911 center that's on the drawing board here in Billings. And you were saying this system is going to go in there, one of the first in the country, is that correct?
The first.
The first.
First 911 center in the country will be here in Billings. The first public school district to have this technology in it here in Billings, Billings Public Schools. Billings Catholic Schools is putting it in, Rocky Mountain College is putting it in, and there's lots of reasons. There's economic reasons, and there's
well, let me stop you right there.
Sure.
Economic reasons, because I was looking through here,
Yeah.
and when the School District 2 here in Billings was looking at upgrading their system, they had all these old copper wires like all of us have. They were deteriorating, and when they got a bid on that, they went, we can't afford this. And then they started looking at this, and just tell a little bit about the cost savings of something like this versus the old system that most people are familiar with, the cold copper wires.
Sure. The old copper wires come in what we call categories, and 5, 5E, 6, 6A, and each one of those designates more bandwidth on that copper wire, which we all are craving bandwidth, right? We've got to have more. Oh yeah, that's the king. Well, with this, with those copper wires, Category 6, which is the current level, it's about 50 cents a foot for that cable. Well, if you have a run of 200 feet, you can see that adds up quite quickly. This is single mode fiber. Now, fiber uses light, as we all know, and it is the fastest medium known. There's nothing faster in our universe. This costs 5 cents a foot.
Wow.
Yeah, so right off the bat, you can see how you can really take your cost savings and multiply them quickly. By splitting this down into multiple, as we talked about earlier, devices, now you're just running one instead of running 4 or 5 or 6 to drive all the devices that you need.
So there's a space savings as well. The old closet to hold all the equipment suddenly doesn't really need to be that big.
All the conduits, all the support structure, all of that just goes out the window. Now with Billings School District, we did the remodel at Broadwater, and in that case, we found that we saved over $140,000 just on that school by using this. Part of that came from the fact that we didn't have these other data closets and equipment that we had to heat or cool, and so a $6,000 one-ton air conditioning unit suddenly wasn't needed. And with all the cost savings with this and the labor and whatnot, yeah, it came to $140,000.
I can hear all the taxpayers out there going, did you hear that, Martha? That's really interesting. And then real briefly about all of the elementary schools in Billings are hooked up to the same network through this system, which in the past really wasn't possible, was it? Or it was, but it wasn't.
Well, it was and it wasn't. There's some limitations.
It was clunky. Let's call it
very
that way.
Clunky. Yes, that's a good term. Actually, they're doing the last 7 elementary schools in Billings this summer, and then we'll move on to the rest of the buildings. But yeah, they saved a lot.
Yeah, back to some of the other advantages other than economics. I cut you off there because I wanted to get to that.
Right.
But there's several. Security being one of them. This is a very secure system.
It is. Yes, it is very secure. So in essence, if you had someone who wanted to hack into this, it's virtually impossible. It can be done, but the chances of success are very slim. But if you did try to cut into this, the system would sense that and automatically shut itself down. And so they're thwarted before they can get very far. And that's what we talk about, the physical layer being the secured first line of defense, if you will. So it's also got unlimited bandwidth. It goes up to 128 terabytes, which I know is kind of a geeky term, but that's a lot. Let me just put it that way. That's a lot.
That's huge.
It is huge. And currently people are looking at 1 gigabit or 10 gigabit systems. This is just, it's virtually unlimited.
Okay, I can hear the pessimists out there saying it sounds too good to be true.
Well, it's 20-year-old technology. It's not new.
Which is amazing to me.
Yeah,
you told me that,
right.
I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I guess maybe as the older we get, the faster time goes, too. But
Well, and we don't always hear about things, too, that affect our lives. So this was developed for the residential market initially. It started on the East Coast and has since spread, of course, across the country. But We've all heard triple play services. Many of us have that in our homes right now. Well, this was the system that was used because of the distance. That was the issue they had to overcome. And single mode fiber, you can run this thing up to 60 kilometers without any issues on it. And it takes absolutely no electricity to pump that signal across this line. So it just had exponential cost savings and features and benefits in it. But yeah, it's been around.
So tell our viewers again, it's called
GPON.
GPON.
I know, it rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it?
It should eventually, because this looks like all of us will have this in our future. I want to talk real briefly, we got 3 minutes left, chip card technology. All of us now have debit cards that have chips on them, and that's just a better secure system than the old scan it? Brett, what do you think?
Yep, they definitely are. It's another level of security. With the old credit cards, those can be compromised. There's devices out there called skimmers, and they're very small boxes. I mean, smaller than your cell phone. Somebody can just swipe that real quick. You know, if you're at a restaurant, if you've got an employee that's bad, they can swipe that. It stores all of your credit card information on there. That can be later used, sold to, you know, on the black market type thing. The chip technology makes that much more difficult. So yeah, that's something that's coming here. We're a little behind the times.
That's amazing. You said Europe is way ahead of us on this.
Yeah, they've had the chip technology for a long time in Europe, and we're just coming on board with it, and hopefully will help a lot as far as debit card, credit card type things.
So both of you, it's been a pleasure talking with you. We have a couple minutes left, and I just want to ask you to come up with some takeaway that our viewers can leave the show with this morning. Kris, how about you? We probably don't need these in our homes, but maybe there's a smaller version that we probably do need. Huh?
There is, and as the telephone companies and cable companies replace your equipment, or a new home is built, you will definitely get this. They won't give you a choice at this point. But I would say my biggest piece of advice to anyone is, if you have an email that comes to you that for some reason looks a little bit not right, stop and wait before you hit the send button. Once you hit the send button, all bets are off, and now you're going to deal with some issues there. So if it looks a little bit suspicious, it probably is.
People are so easily intimidated these days by the technology that's ever changing. It's people kind of panic, I think. And we were talking, Brett, the older generation, sometimes just it would be too rude to hang up on someone, but sometimes you just have to go, this isn't good.
Yep, yeah, with phone calls, we get a lot of those, and yeah, we just tell people, you got to hang up. There's nothing that obligates you to stay on the phone. If something doesn't seem right, hang that phone up. Absolutely.
How about your takeaway? Any other piece of advice as we sign off this morning?
Well, I think for businesses, you know, what we talked about, verification is crucial. With new accounts, people can't get in a rush. They've got to slow down. I've talked to a lot of business owners, and there's very few transactions or deals to be made that will fall apart if you wait. I mean, make a phone call before you wire a bunch of money, because once it's gone, it's gone.
Fascinating subject this morning. Kris Good works for CTA Architects and Engineers here in Billings, and I'm sure if you look them up and call them, if you have a question that Kris mentioned something, you need some more information, you'd be happy to chat with some folks. Yep. Send them an email or whatever. And Detective Lapham is available through the Billings Police Department, and perhaps you've been scammed financially and need to tell him about that. I don't mean to bring more work your way. I'm sure you've got plenty to do, Brett, but thanks for being here, and anyone that has a question, I'm sure can get in touch with you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Face the State. Hopefully you learned something this morning. I know I did. Have a great week. We'll talk to you again soon.
You've been watching Face the State, a presentation of MTN, the Montana Television Network.